Hello and welcome to this class about the United States of America, state by state. As you see on this map, the USA is one country, but it consists of 50 states. Each state has its own capital, its own flag, and some of its own laws, but it's still one country. 48 of the states are bunched together, but two of them are separate. As you see down here, Alaska is really up here in the far northwest, and Hawaii down here is out in the Pacific Ocean. Other famous states you might know is California on the west coast, Florida in the far southeast, New York up in the northeast, and Texas down south. Today I want you to learn about one state. Now each student will get assigned one state. You will find the list of who will get which state on the brain square. Some states are left, however. There's only 29 of you and there are 50 states, so feel free to pick one more state so we will get a list of all 50 states together. Now, these states are to be presented in class on Thursday and Friday. Now, what to do? First of all, I want you to find some facts about your state based on the list on the next slide. You write everything down and bring it to class, and be prepared to tell your group a little bit about your state. Then feel free to add any additional facts you want about your state. So what should be included in your presentation? First of all, some basic geography. Where is the state? What is the state capital? Other major cities? Any oceans or rivers that might be relevant? Also, find a picture of the state flag. Every state has at least one nickname. This nickname can, for example, be found on license plates on cars. What is the nickname for your state, and why do you think it has this nickname? The next thing to do is to find at least one famous person from your state. Who are they? Why are they famous? Feel free to find more than one, but at least one. Then I want you to look into TV shows and movies that take place in your state. Are there any ones you know? Find at least one and present them to your class. What kind of picture do they give of your state? Do you think it's a fair picture? And then anything else that you find that you want to present that is typical for your state. Now, here's my example to show you how it can be done. My example is about the state of Texas. Texas is the second largest state counting by population and is located in the south of the USA. It borders to Mexico by the river Rio Grande, which is Spanish for Great River. As you can guess, there are many people in Texas who speak Spanish as well. The capital is called Austin, but the largest city is Houston. Maybe you heard the name Houston as in Houston, we have a problem. That's why, because Houston is the home for Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center, which is the mission control center for all manned space missions for American astronauts. That means when American astronauts go to space and they need to talk to the phone to people on Earth, they talk to people sitting in Houston. The nickname for the state is the Lone Star State. And as you see on the state flag, the flag has one single star, a lone star. That is, of course, the reason why it's called the Lone Star State. I also found the state sign, which also has a lone star. Some famous people from Texas are Lyndon B. Johnson, who was an American president in the 1960s, George W. Bush, who was an American president more recently in 2001 to 2009, Beyoncé, singer, Buddy Holly, a rock musician from the 1950s, Tommy Lee Jones, a Hollywood actor, Selena Gomez, a Hollywood actress, Jim Parsons, Hollywood actor, mainly famous for his role as Sheldon Cooper in The Big Bang Theory. Lance Armstrong, a world-famous cyclist who won the Tour de France several times, but who recently admitted to using steroids during his career. And last but not least, Bonnie and Clyde, legendary criminals who in the 1930s robbed and murdered several people. When it comes to TV shows, I have picked two. The first one is called Dallas. It was a huge hit in the 1980s. It's about the oil magnate J.R. Ewing, who is extremely rich from oil because Texas is a state with lots and lots of oil. And if you own land when there's lots of oil, you will become very, very rich. The other show I picked is called Walker, Texas Ranger. This show was a big hit in the 1990s. Now, you might not have seen the show, but I'm quite sure you heard about the star, Chuck Norris, because we all know that Chuck Norris rules, right? Now, when you do your presentation, you need to think about the sources. In this case, I think Wikipedia can be a great source, but make sure that all the facts are correct as usual. If you think the language is too hard, choose the language Simple English, but do not look into Swedish sources, okay? When it comes to pictures, Wikimedia Commons is a great source because these pictures are free to be used. And when you're looking at TV shows and movies, imdb.com is a great source. And generally, Google. Google and ask your friends. Thank you very much and good luck with your project.